Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is Season 2, Episode 5. Last time around, we got to spend like the majority, the entire episode actually was focused on this one location with a lot of the recruits that we do know, and we got to dive into a lot of stuff about certain characters like Ymir or Christa or Raina. Very difficult to watch episode because of some of the stuff that happened, but also quite intriguing because of some of the hints and clues that was like inside of that episode. And it ended with Ymir jumping from that tower in a like gonna take out these titans and defend the rest of the recruits. How? By turning into a titan, of course. Which that just came like the very last second of the episode, although it was something that we were both thinking about during the episode, apparently. So that's really fucking intriguing. And then, of course, we still got the Beast Titan that crawled over the wall, and so much else is going on. Are you ready to jump into it?
Yes.
Let's do it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions, where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And let's go.
Historia.
Oh. Snow? We're going to see what that promise was all about between Christa and Ymir.
特別なごちそうが用意されてますね。
おいクリスタがいない。そのダズもいないんだ。そしてユミルもいない。
Bullshit.
まさか迷ったんじゃ。
この吹雪でそれって結構死ぬぞ。くそ。
No.
Fuck it, I'll go get him.
No.
明日の早朝、捜索隊を出す。
それじゃ遅いですよ。
遭難者を増やすつもりか。
Yeah. Probably the smart decision. But alright. What happened?
クリスタ、もう諦めろ。ダズならすでに飯の息だ。自分の体調も把握できねえやつがダズを置いて私たちは生き残るか3人とも死ぬか。
私はこのまま麓の基地にたどり着き、ダズも助かる。もちろんユミルは先に行ってて助かる。これでいいでしょ。あなたには迷惑はかからない。
Stubborn.
お前さ、やっぱダズを助ける気ねえだろ。このままじゃ自分も死ぬって自覚があるんだよな。このまま死ぬつもりだったんだろうな。自分が文字通り死ぬほどいい人だと思われたいからって人を巻き添えにしちゃ。違う、
そんなこと。
I know Ymir is probably like trying to help, but it's just the way that she's going about it. The way she's saying things.
お前だろ、命を狙われた妾の子ってのは。
なんでそれを。
Oh?
そうか。
Mistress daughter.
やっぱりお前だったか。たまたま耳にしただけだ。内地のとある教会で生活のために金品を借りて回ってた時にな、妾の子が偉いとこの跡取りになっちまって、せめて名を偽ってつつましく生きるなら見逃してくれてやろうと誰にも話してないし、この情報を売ったりしない。
私を探すために訓練兵になったの。そうだとしたらなんで。
さあ、似てたからかもな。
Elaborate?
ユミルとして生まれたことを否定したら負けなんだよ。私はこの名前のままで生かした人生を送ってやる。それが私の人生の復讐なんだよ。それに比べてお前
Revenge?
なんで殺意が自分に向くんだよ。その気合がありゃ自分の運命だって変えられるんじゃねえのか。
できないよ。ここから3人とも助かる方法なんてないでしょ。
ある。ここからダズを落とす。運よく無事に落ちた先に運よく人がいて気づけば
Survives the fall.
もしかしたら助かるかもな。
でも落としたって死ぬだけだよ。
私がやっとくから先行っとけ。
Jesus. Fucking tough love indeed. Oh.
お前たちは一緒に来なくていいんだぞ。教官が言ってた通り、遭難者を増やすだけで。
Eren,
Of
for fuck's
course.
sake.
前ら止めんなら。
その装備じゃ無謀ってことだよ。
They're gonna join you.
捜索の目は多い方が効率がいい。
お前ら。 俺たちも行く。天気は回復傾向みたいだ。
Oh, Marco.
なんだろう今の音。誰か来ますよ。
Huh. It's just Krista.
ユミル。
And, oh.
遅かったな。先に着いちまったよ。本当にバカやっちまった。
ダズは
He survived.
あの崖からどうやってあそこからダズを下ろしたの？
いいぞ、お前になら教えてやって。
Oh shit.
ただし、私がその秘密を明かしたとき、お前は元の名前を名乗って生きろ。
That's the promise.
クリスタ、私まだ自分なんて生まれてこなければよかったと思ってた。ただ存在するだけで世界に憎まれたんだ。もし生まれ変わることができたなら、今度は自分のために生きたいと。
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
isn't that the same Titan that in the flashback? It is. Oh, hell. Sorry.
ありがとうライナ。
Gotcha.
ライナ足。
離せよ足。おい。
ユミルが人類の敵かもしれないっていうの。
そりゃこんな力持ってんだもんな。
一体ユミルの目的は何なんだ。
Mm-hmm. She did mention something about revenge.
あいつまさか塔が崩れること気にしているのか。
巨人の力を自分一人で逃げるために使うこともできたはず。なのにそうしないのは。
Trying to save you guys.
何見くぶってんだよバカ。自分のために生きろよ。こんな塔を守って死ぬくらいならもうこんなもんぶっ壊せ。
Don't tear down the tower. Fuck. Okay. Fucking grab on. Hey, ugly. Oh. Whoa, fuck. God damn it.
まずいぞ。
Yeah, you don't say.
No.
クリスタ。
そんなまだ私の本当の名前教えてないでしょ。
Bye, Krista.
No. Oh,
Okay.
Mikasa?
みんなも下がって。
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Ah.
やった討伐
Hey! Oh. First kill as a non-titan.
Yeah.
Wow. She's becoming a bit of a Beyblade herself.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Mikasa.
same thing. Some Beyblade action here.
Whew, in the nick of time. Did Ymir survive though? Oh.
ユミル。私の名前ヒストリアっていうの。
Alright. She can't regenerate? Fuck. Whew. I hope that isn't it for her. Like, I want to know more about Ymir
I think
and the whole
we're gonna know more about it.
people of Ymir, person of Ymir, Miss Ymir that we got in Elsa's notebook, and we're surely gonna get more. But that was episode 5, Historia, that's Christa's real name. I guess we gotta get used to calling her that instead. Perhaps if she's gonna like go by that name, like going forward, as Ymir wanted her to. Maybe that's gonna be like a dying promise if Ymir doesn't make it out of this one alive. Although I think she's going to survive, but obviously we don't know. You guys know, so if it didn't seem obvious to me whether she died or not in the end. Like we could start the next episode. If she's dead, it's like, oh, all right, we'll accept that. If not, all right, we'll accept that as well. It's not we haven't made up our mind about that at this point. But another quite intriguing episode, still spending most of the time with some of the same people, but this time really focusing in on Ymir and Christa, and also getting this flashback with the promise that we got in the snowy mountain there when they were still recruits. So I'm sort of glad we dived back into that. Still have some questions about things, but yeah, what did you think about this one?
A lot of, or some answers, a lot of questions.
As per usual.
But yeah, we got the whole thing with the promise. We got that like out of the way. But the promise was actually a little bit more about Christa's past, I would say. Like the way that we learned about how she was apparently the mistress' daughter, and they wanted to get her out of the way.
They didn't want her there. They didn't want her to have some sort of claim to the throne, even though it would be maybe an illegitimate claim to the throne. But still, like they wanted her to just change her name and get the fuck out of Dodge. And then that's apparently when she joined the cadets or the recruits. So yeah, we found that out, at least about Christa's past, or Historia's past. So now maybe we're gonna at some point go back and like flashback to that, or we're gonna learn more about it, like who was the mistress, and actually get to see, we haven't met have we met the ruler? Or was that the guy that Pixies was playing chess with at some point?
Perhaps. I don't know whether it's important actually about knowing her past.
No,
that's we know that she's the mistress' daughter,
yes.
And
that's where the whole royalty thing came in, because I think they mentioned something about that earlier as well.
Yeah, and I don't think that's super important, and at least not right now, because for me the most important / intriguing thing that we didn't really get any sort of answers to was Emeas Past, because we also saw from the flashback, and you saw it like straight away, when she turned into a Titan. That is also like the design of this Titan is a whole new topic for later on. But when she turned into the Titan, Rainer suddenly recognized the Titan as being the one that killed his friend or acquaintance or whatever.
Back then the flashback was on the previous episode.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely some sort of bad blood between them, or there will be. Now they know that
there will be blood. No.
Bad blood. Yeah. But at least he was almost breaking poor Christa's leg there, because he just completely zoned out and was just overwhelmed with anger and I think thirst for revenge. But we don't really know about Ymir, and we know that she has a similar story, and perhaps that's how Rainer comes in. He might be from on the other side of that story, like he could be from.
Yes, there's some more perspectives there for sure.
Yeah,
and with Emeas Past, and also we did from what we saw in this episode, at least we know that at some point Ymir was pretty much, I don't want to say a thief, but seems like very poor and like borrowing stuff. And at one point walked into a church to borrow some stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when she heard about Christa. So at least she was living like that for like a period of her life. But before
Perhaps
that.
when she broke from whatever that she was coming from. So if she's been some sort of like illegitimate child or whatever, then... And I think the whole, like what Christa and her, they bonded a lot about was this feeling of all these people want you out of their life. And they want to kill you off. And they rather want to kill you off than you having a life for the sole purpose of them, like their comfort or
you're an
place
inconvenience.
In life or, exactly. And I think a lot of people might relate to that feeling that you want to off yourself because you feel like you're an inconvenience to everyone around you. And I think especially certain types of marginalized people have felt like they should rather off themselves so that people can feel joy. And I think this, even though like I don't think it's necessarily like, well, I don't know what I think, but you get to, well, at least Ymir got to a point where it's like, I don't want to
live for anyone else.
Yeah, I don't want to die for anyone else either. I just want to feel like I'm allowed to live, and I want to live on my own like premises.
Yes.
And I think that's also when certain marginalized people, when they suddenly find themselves, or at least they kind of break through that barrier that other people put there. That's when they come to life, and that's when they think, hey, other people should not dictate my life and my right to live as well.
Definitely.
But it's still gonna leave such a scar within you, and it's a scar that might not ever heal. So yeah, I definitely relate a lot to it, but I think that certain marginalized people would relate even more. We still don't know anything about Ymir, so we don't know if living for yourself, it's like if it's straight out like evil choice, like a
we don't really know what it entails, but at least she found like something in Christa that she could relate to, and that I think that being it, with something happened in the past that got you kind of like expelled or like pushed away in a certain sense. And then this notion of like trying to, like, because Christa was trying to prove that her life had some sort of merit. And if she at least could just die saving someone, then she would die as a hero and not just this mistress daughter thing who got pushed away, the inconvenience. And Ymir like just wanted her to go about it a different way and like live for yourself and don't just do what they tell you to do and become someone else. Like, no, be true to who you are. Just take up your real name. Do me that favor. And then that, came back with the promise. Like, when I show myself to the world, I want you to do the same. When I show my true self and do this thing for myself, I want you to do the same thing. So it is still like, she really has a lot of, she does think about other people, certainly, and there is that tough love aspect in there, but she also wants to live for herself. But because she saw that, like that kinship there, she had that with Christa, she also wanted her to live for herself. So it's complicated feelings, man. Yeah, very complicated and for other people. And I
also think it was kind of strong wording now with her saying that, well, you changed your name and your whole life. Now that you're making them happy, you're living life on their terms.
Exactly. You disappeared just like they wanted, and now if you go out and sacrifice yourself, you're gonna die, and you're just gonna do them a favor, more of a favor. Like, then they don't like have to think about you at all. Yeah,
so that's why she wanted to reclaim herself, because claim your life on your terms. Fuck those bastards. It's like it's also, I think it's such a horrible sentiment that you would want a kid gone because someone couldn't stay faithful to their spouse. Like, the kid does not like. The kid would never have wished to.
But
like,
just the existence of that kid, in the eyes of some people, oh, it's a threat to my position and my power.
But the kid did not decide to be
no,
born itself.
not at all. But stuff like that has happened throughout history, a lot with like royal families.
I think it's despicable.
Completely.
It's just what I want to say. It's just I think it's despicable that people can be so careless about human life.
Yeah.
And also the whole notion of like the kid did not choose to be born. It did not choose their life. Really, it's something I struggle with myself. You know, when feeling like. Well, I did not decide to live. My parents decided that they wanted me to live. So I'm just like a victim of circumstance, if we could say it like that.
In that sense, we all are.
yeah. But it's just like when I felt really, really bad. When I've been in a really bad place, and I've been to really bad places. I just did some of the things that I've been thinking about. Like, yeah, I did not choose to be born. I did not choose to live, but I can always choose to die if I want to, you know? Like,
and then there's the whole thing of living for yourself, living for someone else, and if you don't want to be here, then but other people they would be like their lives would be shattered if you left. That's like that going
so complicated.
Yeah, and also just thinking about stuff like that. It's hard to think about.
Yeah, and I'm not sitting here advocating for suicide or anything
no.
of that sort.
That's what I mean. It's just talking about stuff like that because it's so complicated and it's really closely related to pain and trauma and
it's horrible and
it really is. But this show just makes us think about stuff like that.
If people don't want to think about stuff like that or talk about stuff like that, well then don't watch this show because it's giving us all these things to think about. And I think also something I didn't mention in the other one, I kind of really wanted to have Ymir or Raina or just people with who are non-cishet. I just really want to see characters that are not cis heteronormative people because of representation. I think it's so important, and I think at least the person who created the manga or made the manga is somehow aware of this. I think maybe there's some things that are like some choices that are made because big networks and stuff like that. But I just maybe I just have a soft spot for people who are not necessarily heteronormative.
Yes, but it did seem like Ymir thought of Christa as more than maybe just a friend, and there was something romantic there as well as we talked about in the previous one. But they got saved in the end. I was good to see, and of course there was this whole new Titan, not whole new Titan design, but just when Ymir turned into a Titan, just looked different than what we maybe thought.
Yeah.
And then there was also the fact that, hey, wait, didn't we just see that Titan in a flashback? Oh, fuck. Yeah, then it hit us, and it hit Raina and Berthold as well. So yeah, I don't know what other significance like we can really relate the look of Ymir as a Titan to, if there is any significance to why she just looked a little bit different or like was sort of smaller compared to when, for example, like Eren or Annie turned into a Titan.
But if we think about it, also the design of the Titan. For example, Annie and the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan. They all had that, with it basically just looked like a skinned human, right? When you could see all the like the muscles and like the tendons, I think it's called in English. You could see all of this, and for example, Annie's Titan had like boobs and ass and everything, and this,
and looked like a female Titan, whereas the one that Ymir turned into looked like any gender.
Yeah, because it had like that. It was like a flat chest, and they don't have genitals, so it looked kind of like somewhere like a non-binary thing.
Yeah.
Something.
And then also looking more like a Titan, how we usually see them. Same as with Eren. Yeah. Okay. So
but it looked like it actually had skin on and everything, and I cannot help but think if it has to be related with the people that created her or created this sort of Titan, right?
There must be some sort of significance there.
Yeah, exactly. That either this is like if she is one of the first people, if we're buying into that theory, then perhaps if they were the first people who could turn into Titans, maybe this is like the prototype for like the first Titans, the human Titans, and then as we get along, we get upgrades, and then we get the female Titan who can turn skin into tissue into like hardened material and stuff like that, and
do more than just the usual Titans ish. But still use the Titan power to take out a lot of the Titans, and then Christa started yelling and saying live for yourself and everything that we talked about and they talked about in the past, and everything that had to do with that promise. Started taking down the tower, and I started thinking, oh fuck no, like everyone's just gonna fucking die now. How are they gonna but no, like she climbed up there and like grabbed onto me, and the tower went down, and then it looked like everything was like really over for a second when all the Titans just got back up and eating Ymir, and it looked like Christa was a goner, and then at the very last fucking second, that just really made me smile, because it's been so fucking intense, and it's been so difficult to watch like what was going on in this episode and the previous one with these people. And then just that fanfare almost just like playing, and them coming in, just taking out the Titans like that, because the scouts are just the fucking best.
And especially Mika's, I know like but she is a specific kind of breed.
She is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And Eren got his first kill as a non-Titan. And then he sort of fucked up, and it was like, I told you to stay behind. All right, okay, I'll just, fuck.
But I got my kill.
I got my kill. Good on you, Eren. Good on you.
Yeah.
Also funny, like just in going back in the flashback and seeing Eren being, that hothead again, and just, oh fuck it, I'll go out there and save them, and then thankfully everyone wanted to save him. They like sort of came
and
together.
Das survived.
And Das survived there in that flashback as well. That was good to see. Yeah. But yeah, going back to like the present as well. Now we're starting to get people together, at least like some of the groups meeting up again.
But we know that they just got intel from Sasha saying that Ymir and Christa, something with Ymir and Christa, and we know that Ymir and Christa, they had some information that Hanji needed, and that's when because I think maybe Sasha also had information about like where their whereabouts, so the castle they were at, and then they just wrote, and we saw them, right?
Yeah, we saw them going for them, but now at least like they're together there. If Ymir is gonna survive or not, there's still gonna be a lot of questions, both like from Aina and Bertolt definitely, but also Hanji and the Survey Corps or the Scouts as a whole. I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch of questions, and then it's still like no Beast Titan in this episode. So what the fuck is that?
But we know it's there.
We know it's there. We know it climbed the wall and it's going somewhere. So what the fuck is gonna happen now? What did you think about? Think of?
Could Titans on the walls, could those be Beast Titans?
Beast Titans?
Nah. No mind.
It looked like, at least just from that one Titan we saw, that face inside the wall, didn't look like that one had skin. So it looks more like what you described with the Colossal and Armored Titan and the female Titan.
Yeah, perhaps.
I don't know if there's a significance. It's again, just the way that they look different.
We
sometimes.
have this much information about them.
Yeah, it feels like we're still just like scraping the surface and trying to get further and further down and just find some sort of information that can really tell us something about everything that's going on. But we know it's coming. We just need to be patient. But it's easy to be patient when the series is this good and each episode is providing so much. So even though you have questions at the end, you still get so much out of each episode, and I love that. Do you have anything else you want to add to this one?
No, I don't think so. No.
Fair enough. That's going to do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan Season 2, Episode 5, Historia. Yeah, that was still... Didn't think of that when I heard that title, that was actually going to be a name. I thought maybe it was just using Historia, the history thing, and that's, going back and telling us the history of maybe something that had to do with Ymir or Christa, but no, it's just more little. It's a name, Christa's name, Historia. Sorry, it just came out of nowhere. Thanks again for watching. See you guys as soon as possible. Bye.
Bye.